Disclaimer.
History is not safe for work, and neither is HistoricHole.
This podcast is uncensored and contains explicit language.
Welcome to HistoricHole. My name is David, and as always, I am joined by Jason and Michael.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag as well. I'm Michael, that's Jason. We here at HistoricHole, we take a funny look at history. Sometimes people, sometimes events, sometimes just wars, sometimes fake things. Today
is a person.
Hey!
And, what will most likely be a two-parter because we're big fans of those.
Oh, God, yeah. Usually the best episodes are just a person, but...
Well, this person was pretty important. It's Albert Einstein. So important that a word has been coined. Einstein, because he was a genius.
A word? Is that a word?
I don't think
just feel like that's
that
just
was
his name.
correct. I don't think that was correct.
His name became synonymous with genius. That is what I was trying to say, I guess.
Okay, well then, let's just say that.
Yeah.
Good job, Jason.
I had to say the fucked up thing for my mind to
Jason,
buy time to formulate what I was trying to say.
no one's ever accused of being an Einstein like Jason.
Well, he's a caveman.
He's a
He's
Jason.
probably an Einstein of the
caveman. Yeah,
we took we did take the
I don't
smartest
know.
one.
We just happened to get there. I think the Einstein was over there going like, "Please take me. I can speak." But we found him, and we only had a limited amount of time.
So we'll be discussing Albert Einstein, who was born in Ulm, in the kingdom of Württemberg in the German Empire, March 14th in 1879. Ulm. But they weren't there long. His father was Hermann, and his mother was Pauline. A year after little Albert was born, they decided to move to Munich, where Hermann and his brother Jacob decided to start up a little electrical company.
Oh boy.
Using DC power.
Go listen to some of our other episodes to figure out what the hell that means.
Direct current.
Yes. Possibly Tesla's working around this time, I do believe also. From a young age, he had his mother played piano, so she sort of forced him to play piano as well, which he didn't like.
He hated
thus.
the arts. A Philistine he was.
And played violin. Also, he learned violin at age 5.
What is all this emotion
Wow.
and feeling? I want simply math and logic and facts. I hate this.
So did he learn piano and
Violin.
wow?
Some say he
Hated
did the
it, though.
cello,
Yeah, didn't like it.
but he could play a mean one.
Oh, yeah.
Good shred.
At the age of 5, he was
Burn it up.
Devil went down to Georgia. From age 5 to 8, he attended a Catholic elementary school.
Whatever you do, don't join the Catholics.
Which I
Catholics wiped him out.
Yeah,
which
we
I
don't-
find
we don't talk
odd,
about
seeing
that.
as he was Jewish. I think it's kind of weird that he's in a Catholic school, but I guess it is Germany. So,
I mean, half the schools, like, you just kind of had to go to Catholic school back then, right? Like, all the schools were just Catholic.
yeah,
They were
right.
just
They were the
regular
only
school.
ones offering up information.
There wasn't just like Munich Elementary.
Age 8 to 15, he attended the Luitpold Gymnasium for advanced learning, or advanced schooling.
It's like Spider-Maning all over the walls. He's like, physics, but I hate this. I hate everything.
He was actually a terrible student.
Exactly. He's like, I'm bad at everything.
Except for math, of course. That piqued his interest.
There was like one math teacher there at the Catholic school.
It'd been funny if he just like hated math too, and he just did it begrudgingly.
Right?
He taught himself math.
Oh.
This is like a,
As a 12-year-old boy, he taught himself algebra
Exactly. He figured it out. He was like,
and
"Oh."
geometry over a single summer. He also developed his own.
It was a sexy summer.
it's a white boy summer.
His He also developed his own original proof for the Pythagorean theorem.
Pi.
He had a tutor, and his tutor gave him a book on geometry.
He taught his tutor.
He threw the book at him. He's like, "You're too smarter than me."
Yeah, he actually was like,
let you live.
After about a year, he was like, he's teaching me stuff now, so I don't see a point in me coming around anymore.
What do you? I don't want to learn.
He married my wife.
Oh, yeah.
Showed up at my house one day. Like, I have taken your place. But you're 14. Am I? Math.
So with his passion for geometry and algebra, he became convinced that nature could be understood through a mathematical structure.
And here's the thing. Typically, kids either like one or the other, right? Like, you're either good at algebra or you're good at geometry. He was good at both.
Or you're good at nothing.
Yeah, or you're just stupid like Nell from the 1994 movie. I'm just kidding.
Then he taught himself calculus.
Easy.
By age 14, he said that he had mastered integral and differential calculus, which I'm assuming is a big deal.
That is not a thing at the time. Like I said, he's inventing math as he's figuring it out.
But it was also around 13 where he was exposed to Mozart and then started learning Mozart violin.
He's like, wait a minute. Maybe the art isn't so
Yeah, and
bad.
then had a profound appreciation for music from then on.
And then he heard Mozart as he imagined the first explosion for the atomic bomb. It's beautiful.
He would say he thought in music, lived his daydreams in music, and if he hadn't been a physicist, he would have been a musician. But he wasn't.
Well, he's
Yeah,
fortunate
those
enough
damn parents.
fortunate enough to be taught,
Exactly.
Piano.
Yeah, exactly.
and violin at
The
age
stupid is
5.
like, I hate you, Mom and Dad, for teaching me all this shit. Well, now I see everything in music and math. Thank you.
That's why, kids, you should listen to your parents sometimes when they're encouraging you to learn instruments and math. But only those things.
Math metal.
Exactly. Combine everything.
Exactly. Combine everything.
Well, in 1894, the prospects for Herman and his brother Jacob and their electrical company were looking dire because no one wanted DC power anymore. Everything was switching over to AC,
Of course.
alternate current,
Everyone marvels.
Alternating current.
alternating current, and they just didn't have the budget to switch over everything. So they picked up the family and moved to Italy. But little Albert decided to stay in Munich and continue his learning. But then eventually started hating it because of how regiment the school was.
I already know this. So I started hating
Yeah, exactly.
Why am I going to school?
It wasn't really creative enough for
Yeah,
him.
some
was
people
just
respond more to
regurgitation.
Yeah, exactly. The rigid structures sometimes can be turn off because sometimes people really respond to it, but oftentimes really creative people, such as Einstein here.
Such as Albert Einstein.
Such as fucking Einstein. Fucking Einstein.
You've heard
here.
of him,
So what he eventually does is he tells the school that he has a family emergency and then just leaves.
One of those excuses. I got a flat tire. He never showed up again.
And then
Go
goes to
build a
Italy
bomb.
to visit his family.
His grandpa died 16 times.
And because he didn't want to go back, in 1895, at the age of 16, he decided to
Just not go back.
take the entrance examinations in Zurich, Switzerland, at
Yeah.
the Federal Polytechnic School in Zurich.
I'm surprised they
Sure.
even had those back then.
Why?
I don't know.
The
'Cause it was only like
proliferation
100
of knowledge has been something that's been happening for
I know,
millennia.
Yeah.
but most people are still
I'm
stupid.
surprised they had schools like 100 years ago. Like,
I'm not
what?
surprised
Are
they
you
had
fucking
schools. I'm
serious?
surprised they had very specific schools, like called the poly whatever.
Polytechnic
Yeah, I'm like,
colleges.
I
technical
thought we didn't
college.
invent anything until 1994.
Well, as he did
That's what Obama told me.
as with his regular schooling, he scored very well in mathematics and physics, but poorly in everything else.
Of course.
He was like in the principal's office every day for just beating the shit out of kids.
He hated everything. It's
That's how
because
he tested
spent all his
physics.
time on the other things. That he just did what he liked.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not gonna waste my time with this.
Thank God they didn't have Reddit back then. He was just been a mod.
But the principal of the Polytechnical school, it caught his eye, all of the advanced physics stuff. And he's like, well, why don't you go to this school over here in Switzerland and finish off your regular learning and then apply again? It's like, okay, fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So he did that from 95 to 96. And then in 1896, he actually had to renounce his German citizenship because at 18, you compulsory military service.
Yeah.
So he's no longer a German. He's just a citizen of the world living in Switzerland.
Like Jason was kind of struggling to communicate that a little bit.
Yeah, he was, but I think we got the message.
Yeah.
Like, cause
He didn't want to join the army.
because at 18, compulsory military service.
Yeah, I was like, I think I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
We got it.
They force you to join the
It's like
military.
Israel nowadays.
Those
Yes.
bastards.
Except this is Germany then.
Not
Let me tell you.
Israel.
Everyone,
God damn it. That sounds horrible. Let's just move on. Fuck this section.
So at 17, he enrolled, got in. He was one of 6 students in the course he was in. Mostly male, 5 males and 1 female, and he decided to have a very close relationship with the 1 female he was around.
we'll make some
He's
physics.
Einstein getting fucking Me Too'd.
Mileva from Serbia.
100 years
I think he's
later.
getting Me Too'd yet. He was just having close relations.
Yes.
Oh, just you wait.
She was like, Me Too. No, I know. You know. We're all Me Too'd. Me too.
And
Hashtag.
in 1900, he passed the exam in maths and physics and was awarded a federal teaching diploma. So now he could, start lecturing and have a teaching position at a college, but he couldn't find any
anywhere.
jobs.
Heh.
Yeah. So he ended up in the Swiss patent office, going over.
Just remember that, kids. They wouldn't hire Einstein, and someone's teaching you. Who's that fucking person?
You remember, Einstein had to work in the Swiss patent office.
Yeah.
If you ever feel like you got some shit you're dealing with.
What about your liberal arts teacher? I bet you they didn't.
So while there, he was evaluating patent applications for a variety of devices. One was a gravel sorter, and another was an electromechanical typewriter.
One was a lava cannon from Carnegie. Around the same era, I suppose.
But while working at the
He put the
patent
lava cannon to the side. All right, what's this other one?
But while working there, some of his theories he was starting to develop related to questions about transmission of electrical signals, and electrical
Magnetical.
electrical mechanical
That's a great 80s band.
synchronization of time.
Magnetical. God damn it.
love
You have
that
to say that again. Electrical magnetical. The Einstein project.
Electrical magnetical. That's a pretty good band name.
Yeah. Einstein invented it.
Well, while working in the patent office,
Hammering it away. Because all patents were made of metal back then.
he began his journey down his radical conclusions about the nature of light and the fundamental connection between space and time.
Man, can you imagine being one of the first people to go like, you know what? I think all them stars are fucking far away. And I think light's really fast but really slow.
Good Lord.
Is
Yeah,
Einstein.
Yeah, something like
everyone was so stupid in the past, according to Michael Christ.
Because they didn't have schools.
Well, look at around us.
Yeah, astronomy-
We're all stupid right now.
Astronomy was around for hundreds of years,
Yeah.
so they knew a lot about stuff by this time.
There's nothing else to do. There's no Joe Rogan podcast.
In 1903, Einstein and Mileva get married. The one chick he was hanging out with studying
The only chick.
the late night study groups. They wrote a lot.
That's what they're calling it.
Wrote
back
notes
then,
to
huh?
each other. Yeah.
Would you like to see my quill and pen?
He wrote to her all night.
They married in January of 1903, and a year later in May, their first son, Hans Albert Einstein, was born in Bern, Switzerland.
Yeah, unfortunate. Burn.
April 30th, 1905, he completed his thesis called A New Determination of Molecular Dimensions, which earned him a PhD at the University of Zurich. And also that year, he decided,
That sounds lame.
Yeah. You know what I think? I think a lot of these PhDs that were earned by a lot of the people we talk about, it's like, we've never even thought about that. Here's your doctorate.
Well, he also published 4 of his most groundbreaking papers. The first was on the photoelectric effect. Next was the Brownian motion. Then we have special relativity and the equivalence of mass and energy, which gives us the famous E equals mc squared.
What was that second one again?
Brownian motion.
Brownian motion. How's that go?
It's about the random motion of particles when they're suspended in a liquid or gas.
So it's not a sentient brownie made of delicious chocolate.
No,
Everybody brownie.
it was named after a man named Brown who discovered it.
Why do they call it brown? Not brownie. It's like calling me Mikey.
Because scientists
It's
are playful.
Brownian.
Oh, Brownian.
Yeah.
You said brownie.
Well, I wouldn't doubt
And
it.
Michael's hungry.
Yeah,
or
right.
stoned or both. Who
Always
fucking knows?
hungry.
I know.
Never stoned, always hungry. The Michael story. Prologue by Albert.
Well, Einstein's contribution to the Brownian motion was that it put forth evidence of atoms and molecules and all of that such wonderful stuff.
You've heard of him? Maybe.
Evidence.
Ugh. Ugh. We here at HistoricHole have decided we don't like evidence.
Yeah. Well,
Who needs evidence when you have
Brownies.
emotion and propaganda?
Delicious, delicious chocolate. Atoms.
so after he published those, he starts to gain some notoriety amongst the science community. And now he starts getting lecturer
got some
jobs.
notoriety.
So he leaves the patent office.
Yeah, it must have been some pot brownies that he was giving everybody. You know, like, yeah, man, this is how Einstein did. He sounds correct, dude. Just let him do everything.
I don't know. Hoffman hadn't invented acid yet, so
That wasn't acid, it was just pot.
I'm not talking about pot, am I, Michael?
So it was pot
I'm talking
brownies.
about acid.
It wasn't acid
and it
brownies.
wasn't invented yet. So by virtue of that, these guys couldn't have been too out there.
I don't know, man.
Psilocybin.
I wonder.
Yeah, you don't know what they're eating.
Fuck, when did Hoffman invent it?
Or
Was it
that's just acid. Like,
was
people
it
were like
45?
eating just shit like out of
Should
the
do that.
ground.
That's the topic, yeah. The Hoffman bike ride.
Hey, that's what we should do.
In 1908, he was appointed lecturer at the University of Bern. Started giving lectures on electrodynamics and the relativity principle at the University of Zurich, which actually created a teaching position for him in theoretical physics. So now he had, a nice teaching gig.
Yeah, all the people in the class were probably like other teachers going like, "What are you talking about?"
What was he doing to make money before that?
He was working at the patent office.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Just
See,
printing patents.
people, the whole time he's doing all this brilliant shit. He's working a steady job.
He's still holding down the job.
He's holding down a steady job working at patent office. So
Once he starts getting notoriety, though, and starts getting lecturer offers, he's like, fuck the patent office, doing what I want now.
well, yeah, of course.
That I'm getting paid for it.
Exactly, because he's getting paid for it. So to all you fucking NYU kids that parents are paying for everything, go fuck yourself. Look,
Seriously, go fuck yourself. And let's go back. No.
Look. working, doing brilliant shit, proving it. Don't
He
need
was
no
proving his
accolades.
worth.
Yeah, exactly.
He proved his rent.
just went out and do it.
In
I'm an Einstein of people.
I'm like an Einstein of the street.
Yeah. I just understand things. I'm so empathetic.
In 1910, his
I
second.
don't know math though.
In 1910, his second son, Edward, is born.
Edward.
Yeah.
Stress that.
Well, it's spelled weird. Eduard. But it's Edward.
I would assume it's still pronounced the same.
Edward.
It's spelled. So with the E, it would even be more
Albert.
pronounced Edward.
It's Albert and Edward.
with an A. Edward.
Edward. Anywho.
It's like he's about to say Eduardo, but then he stops.
Just stops. Pump the brakes.
Hello, I am Eduardo. I am Albert Einstein's son. Beautiful, sexy son, played by Antonio Banderas in the Einstein film.
In 1911, he became a professor at the Charles Ferdinand University in Prague. And now to do so, he has to get... They give him an Austrian citizenship, seeing as we're in the Austria-Hungarian Empire right now. It's just like, come teach us things, here's the citizenship. And he also has a Swiss citizenship right now, also, since he's been living in Switzerland for so long. Ugh. And so... while there, he writes 11 more scientific works of his.
Cranking them out. And they're all hits.
Radiation mathematics.
That was the glory period of Einstein. No.
This is a golden era.
Radiation mathematics, quantum theory of solids, fun stuff.
That was like his animals.
Then in 1912, he decided to
By
go
Pink Floyd.
back to Zurich. And was teaching there again about analytical mechanics and thermodynamics.
Thermo. It's like a thermos.
This is what I get for doing Einstein. Einstein.
Oh, no.
It's falling apart.
That's what you get for doing Bagel Man.
He also studied continuum mechanics, the molecular
None of this will be cut out.
the molecular theory of heat, and the problem of gravitation.
The problem.
Certainly is a problem.
It is a problem.
Because,
I'm trying to be
sometimes
up there, but I'm down here.
I trip and I fall. And I don't like that. It's a problem.
Sometimes I run over glass when I'm escaping from the police and I'm shooting out windows. There's a problem. I need that glass to fly away. Thanks, Einstein. Or whatever Jason called him.
In July of 1913, he became...
Are you sure? He became
a member of the Prussian Academy of Sciences in Berlin. So they tried to steal him away from the University of Zurich and bring him...
They put a black bag over his head, kidnapped him in a van.
That big white hair still like sticking out the bottom.
No, it's black right now. He's a young man. He's only like 26 or something.
Sexy.
So he goes to Berlin, takes the family to Berlin.
Also black bag.
Mileva, Edward, and little Hans.
Are you sure?
So
Edward.
they're only there for a couple years before Mileva takes the kids back to Switzerland without Albert.
Uh-oh.
Because she finds out
Trouble in paradise.
There was some physics going on. Another woman.
she leaves him in 1914 because she found out that since 1912, his main love interest was his cousin, Elsa.
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 From fucking Frozen.
Well, so...
Let it go. Einstein, let it go.
Their mothers were sisters, making them
Oh, no.
maternal first cousins. But also...
Are you going to try and explain how this was slightly okay, Jason?
No, I'm just giving the...
This is not okay.
This is not okay.
But their fathers were first cousins,
But he's brilliant, so we
making them paternal second cousins. Yeah.
Good Lord.
So she...
Worse or better?
She had the surname Einstein at birth, lost it after her first husband...
When they were on horseback escaping from their town. I lost the name.
So were they aware? That's the thing.
Yeah, they knew.
Oh, God. That makes it worse. Now, if it was like a goofy misunderstanding that they're like, oh, wait,
your name's Einstein?
Your mom's who? Oh, shit. Like, that would have been funny. but apparently not.
No.
Apparently it was.
It's just sad and
It
weird.
was just not funny.
It wasn't.
It was funny
So-
in a way.
Yes, they have intimate relations. While he's in Berlin, where
Go into
she
more
was.
detail.
Which is actually why people think that he actually took the job also, because it brought him closer to Elsa.
Oh no. He'd be like, E equals MC, my cousin.
In 1916, he was elected the president of the German Physical Society.
Oh no.
So, served from 1960 to 1918.
It's like he's been part of the physical society for quite some time.
Cousin was like, also in there, but they took that out in the history books. Physical cousin, historical society.
So Mileva and Albert get divorced February 14th, 1919.
Happy Valentine's Day. He drops a nuke on her. Or be an atomic bomb. The first one.
An emotional atomic
Yeah,
bomb.
history doesn't talk about that. That's when he first thought of it. This is what I want to do to this woman's heart because I love my cousin.
And a part of the divorce settlement was that she would receive any money if and when he won a Nobel Prize.
Well,
How did that get in there?
Right?
god damn, that's a prenup if I've ever heard one. Or a
What did
reverse
he
one.
do?
He fucked his cousin, apparently. I'm sure they didn't want that getting. No, I'm sure everyone knew.
Yeah, Jason's like struggling over his words because he fucked a lot of his cousins back in Neanderthal times. There was only
We
only
didn't
cousins.
know.
Well,
There was only 4 of us.
Okay, so wow, so it was kind of like a blackmail then.
Yeah,
That's funny.
they ended up somehow
you don't want your
defeating.
cousin fucking getting out, so we're gonna, even though it will come out years later, and then 3 douchebags on a podcast will make fun of it. But still, that's weird. The cousin fucking, not the
That's
blackmail.
weird.
The blackmail's totally understandable, and the cousin fucking's
I
not.
feel like we should change our podcast name too. That's weird.
That's weird.
You know what's weird this week? Albert Einstein married his wife and then divorced her for his cousin and blew up Japan. That's weird.
A couple months after the divorce, he and Elsa get married. But take solace in the fact that he cheats on Elsa as well.
Take
Let it go.
solace.
Yeah.
Take solace in the fact that he was, in addition to being,
Like in between all the math equations, he saw a woman, so I recognize her as I should treat her well and love her. But over here is another cousin.
Now, there was a secretary named Betty.
Secretary.
There was a rich florist owner.
So doctor-related things. You think you're smart?
No, this one was flowers.
Oh.
Florist.
Oh, god damn it.
Then there was just a blonde.
dumbass.
I'm not Einstein.
Yeah, that's true.
Then there was just a random.
Oh, good one.
A random.
That's true.
That is a true statement.
Then there was just a random blonde Austrian named Margaret, a wealthy Jewish widow, and
Named who? Like with the name?
Tony. Her name was Tony. And then Ethel, a Berlin socialite.
Of course.
But-
Bane like a barn door.
And they actually,
Shiza porn.
not only did they have relations, he have relations with all those women, but they also sent him gifts, just random stuff. Just, that's how good he was.
So he was kind of like a Charles Manson type.
Yeah,
He
like
just kind of had a
like
command over women.
Yeah, like
He used math too.
yeah, he really confused them, and they're like, "Man, I hate this guy," and he just screamed at me about blowing me up, but I feel the need to give him something. Here you go, Albert.
Albert Einstein didn't bomb anybody. I don't know where you're getting that idea.
Well, I know, like we're just making
If anyone's to blame, it's probably Oppenheimer.
you know, but yeah, but he regretted it the first time he saw the bomb. Einstein was all just about like, as we've talked about here, that should be our tagline here in
Einstein was
HistoricHole.
all about pussy, apparently. I don't know.
Yeah, it's all about pussy, and also
It was just him learning physics.
yeah, exactly. Like it was all learning. He was a learning computer, and literally, as our tagline should be here,
While
not about
daydreaming about music.
Should have all about.
Honestly, it seemed like he came from humble origins, but then got big, releases, he's just like Elvis Costello. The shit's flying out. Steely Dan, whoever put out a plethora of albums, you know what I mean? And just too many, really to keep track of. Like all of that shit Jason listed off. And then he went through his head.
Tried to list
He's
off.
a fucking scientific rock star. He's Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Except for Albert
Way
Einstein.
cooler, yeah.
Except he got pussy.
Yeah, except he wasn't like an asshole. Like as big an asshole.
No, he's actually.
Oh
pretty
my
nice guy.
God. I'm sure Einstein was the hugest asshole.
Yeah, but at least like he has cool shirts and like.
Well, he was an asshole to women. But I guess he was with his bros.
But that's history, bro.
The patriarch.
Another thing that should be our tagline. That's history, bro. And then all the women were killed. That's history, bro.
Albert and Elsa visited New York City for the first time on April 2nd, 1921,
Albert thought about how it could be destroyed, bombed.
Jesus Christ.
where he went to do a little lecture tour at Columbia University and then Princeton. He went to Washington and even had a little visit to the White House with the National Academy of Science.
And they bombed it.
Yes.
When he got there, everyone loved him. He was a rock star, like David's been saying.
He was the bomb.
And visited Madison Square Garden during for a Hanukkah celebration
The basketball heaven.
with 15,000 other Jews. After he
That's a
left,
lot of Jews.
after he left the U.S., he wrote a little essay called "My First Impression of the USA," in which he briefly describes some of the characteristics of Americans. What strikes a visitor is the joyous, positive attitude of life.
Hey!
The American is friendly, self-confident, optimistic, and without envy.
Y'all want some sweet tea?
Isn't that an interesting thing to observe about Americans?
Well, he clearly never went to L.A.
He was also... Yeah, we'll talk about it in the next episode.
Jesus.
Well, that is... and with
Abrupt.
that...
Yeah. No, because he starts a world tour, and we'll get into it next episode.
and the fireworks shoot off.
And Jason's
He's
been
about
playing
to
a
walk
stopping
out.
point, so we're stopping here.
Yeah.
And thus, Albert Einstein died.
Not yet.
I'm just kidding.
Got like 30 years.
He's got like 30 years. Oh, spoiler alert.
So what did we learn with the first part of Albert Einstein's life?
Man whore. Taught himself calculus.
Love the violin.
But hated the violin and then learned to love the violin.
Because he thought love was a better teacher than being forced to learn something.
But then he got over
That's
that.
not the exact quote, and I know that.
But it's, we get the general concept,
Yes.
It makes sense, right? Like you want to do it for you.
Yeah, exactly. For pleasure, not for because
For
someone's
pain.
not because someone's telling you to do
You
it.
don't want to build an atomic bomb for no reason.
Although it seems to have benefited him.
Right?
Yeah.
During dinner parties, he would actually play for his guests.
And then
Einstein.
years later, grew an appreciation for it. Just like, I know how to do that. He just sits down and starts playing Mozart. That must be
It's
nice.
like, oh yeah, this
Beethoven
guy's
also,
super
he learned
smart.
Beethoven, yeah.
Oh yeah, like that's a bomb drop. If a matter of speaking, if you're talking to all those other goddamn scientists, and they're like, man, okay, our intellects have clearly like gotten to an equal level, and he's like, well, here, let me go over here. And he starts playing the whole entire orchestra, on every single instrument, and you're like, god damn it, Einstein.
It's like, what? I'm Einstein.
Yeah, exactly. No one's gonna make pot smoking T-shirts about you.
Fucking Einstein over here making us all look bad. All right, let's get to the show stuff.
Chill.
Shill.
No.
What were you gonna-
I was
what's
gonna
that?
I was gonna do the nuclear.
The atomic bomb.
Yeah,
oh,
but-
the nuclear is an atomic. Ugh.
Yeah, I didn't
Oh
want
my
to.
god, it's just gonna beat that fucking horse to
See,
death.
I brought him over
already
to the
dead.
atomic side.
I'm just
We're
gonna,
all dead. The atomic bombs all went off.
I'm just gonna shoot the horse right now. The horse is dead. It's put it out of its misery.
Oh, it's okay, Rhaegar. I know it's my fault that the guns went off.
All right.
He just pointed at the ground. Because typically when people are trying to like get a commotion stop, they shoot in the air.
I was shooting the horse. It's on the ground. I was
The
putting
horse is behind me.
it. God damn it! You're right.
You just shot the ground.
I just shot the. Well,
Bye, Rhaegar.
the general idea. You get what I'm saying. Anyway, give us 5 stars on iTunes if we're worth it.
There's 5 dead horses.
Yeah.
We'll keep shooting.
We'll give you 5 dead horses at least.
Yeah, give us the horses alive. We'll return them dead.
We have the horse.
Okay, the horse is dead.
We have the horse beating service.
All right.
That's what this is. If
We
you're-
make glue as well. Give us 5 glue.
And violin strings.
If you're listening but you like watching, then you can find us on YouTube.
We have horses all over the video production.
You can follow us on the social media platforms, Instagram and Twitter. Post a full episode on IGTV. Word of mouth is the best advertising that we can get. Please tell people about us. That really helps. Thanks for people following. Any new followers, any new listeners.
Seriously, just subscribe and
We
give us 5
appreciate
stars
you.
on iTunes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Like, just hit, like, you don't even have to download it.
Just say thank you, Michael.
Just ignore us. No.
Michael's getting too fancy with
us.
it. You can email us at historichole@gmail.com, you know, with any business inquiries. Keep it professional. No dick pics.
Unless they have an oil change coupon attached to your dick. And then we'll look. If you make us scroll down, we'll do it.
Michael will consider your penis. All
Or
right.
an oil change.
All right. And statement of the week this week. I don't even think we even discussed that.
Oh, well, you're the one that
We
said
never
the
do.
statement.
Oh, man. What's going on this week?
What's going on this week? Nothing.
I know, right?
Never heard of anything.
Nothing's been happening.
Yeah, life is over.
Oh, don't harass hotel workers. How about that one? Y'all seen that shit? The fucking kid that like smashed his head against the computer screen
Good Lord.
at a hotel. Because yeah, you know, it's just like, hey, maybe if people are stressed out, you know, don't push them too hard. Yeah, how about that? That sounds good.
Yeah. But also be a decent human being.
No.
A little redundant in there, but I mean, he did smash like it was pretty. It was pretty fucking metal. I kind of want to say something like that, like.
Don't tweet until you know all the facts. That's what you should say.
No, we already did that.
LeBron. We didn't do that last week.
No, we did something about facts like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
What's wrong with facts? That's what our sure thinks.
Wait for the facts or some shit like that. But we'll do this something like
Yeah, no, just say.
Yeah.
Like, who keeps buying all the milk? It's innocuous.
all right, I got it. All right. And so this week, our statement of the week is working at hotels fucking sucks. You know, treat them a little better, maybe. I don't know.
What kind of statement was that?
I don't know. And
That's a terrible
so,
statement.
yeah. And so our statement of the week this week is...
Don't fuck with hotel workers.
All right. So our statement of the week this week is don't fuck with hotel workers.
Or they won't give you a room.
Or they will give you a room and then sneak in.
Life is full of holes. Enter wisely.
Bye.
Black hole.